there, how are you guys? You know what? I am doing this Facebook Live at a different time than I normally do in the day, so the camera's on a completely different angle. I bet you don't normally know that I've got trees out in the back of my coaching room. Excuse the fact that there is a siren happening in the background there. We're close to a busy road, even though we've got trees and actually a very big cornfield that is right behind us. But it's late in the afternoon, so it's hot in here, and I've got the door open, which means you're probably going to get a little bit of more noise than you might normally get. So today the topic is another one of these little short videos on how to keep a journal. And I'm going to talk today about 12 types of journal. Just give me a second. I'm going to close this door and come right back. The door is squeaking and it is distracting. Hi. Okay, I'm back. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Candy Motzek. I am a coach and I am a life coach. I work with all kinds of people, and as well I teach and I mentor coaches to start and build their coaching practice. I started on this little mini series about how to keep a journal because so many of my clients want to try journaling, but they just don't know how to do it. So I thought, you know what? If I do a few little videos, there is no huge amount of information that you need to know. So each one of these little videos is 5 to 10 minutes long. They're quick, super easy to watch, and you're going to learn some different things. So today we're talking about 12 different types of journals that you can keep. And I've got some notes here as well. And if you're interested, you'll be able to pop over to my website. I will remember to put a blog post on my website. Sometimes I know it's easier to read it than it is to listen and try and figure out which one you want to do. Listen, you guys, I am so sorry. My dog wants to come inside. Come on, Feeny. Yeah, completely different time of day for me to be doing these Facebook Lives. She's decided she's had enough of sun tanning, and so she wanted to come in, and pretty soon she is going to be not just scratching at the door, but she's got this great trick where she stands up with her little feet and actually opens the door to my coaching room. So I figured better let her in. Okay, so let's dive in. 12 different kinds of journals that you could keep. This is part 5 in the series. I think I've got one, maybe 2 more quick little videos to do. They're super easy to find on my Facebook page. If you're interested, you can just do a little search on my page for the other parts about how to keep a journal. And so today, let's start with some of the common types. And honestly, it wasn't until I started writing this down that I realized that there was so many different types of journals. So the first one that I want to talk about is a dream journal. So a dream journal is what you want to keep if you want to start getting a little bit of a view into your subconscious and what is going on with you. Maybe you're also into dream analysis, in which case this is also a really great tool for you. But I like to use it as a reminder for myself of what's going on in my subconscious. And I don't keep a dream journal all the time, but I go through these phases where I start to have a lot of dreams. And then this is a way for me to remember the dream and also to bring that subconscious into my conscious so that it's a great message and a great learning for me. So how you keep a dream journal is you keep that journal and the pen right beside your bed. And as soon as you wake up, even before you get up and your feet hit the floor, you take a moment and you write everything that you can remember about the dream that you have had, either the dream that you hasn't finished that you just woke up from, or any of the dreams that you've had that you remember. Now, the faster you can do this, the better, because the longer you're awake, they start to sort of flitter away and it's really easy to lose all of the details. As you're writing, don't worry about your grammar and your spelling, just capture what that dream was about. And remember, as you're writing these things, don't just talk about the things that happen and try to make sense of them. Capture them as if somebody was dictating it to you, and the essence of it. Were there any smells? Were there any scents? Was it hot? Was it cold? What emotions were you feeling? So just as soon as you wake up, if you're having a dream and you want to start keeping a dream journal, grab that book, grab your pen, and write down every single thing that you can remember. The first couple of times it might feel very disjointed. It just takes a little while to get onto that bit of a habit with it. All right. Journal type number 2 is a junk journal. And a junk journal is something that you use just to vent. Get that stuff that's bugging you off your chest. So if you keep a junk journal and you're feeling very agitated, you're feeling angry, you're feeling scared, you're feeling sad, you grab that journal and you just write about what is going on. How are you feeling? Even if you're repeating the same things over and over and over, you're allowing yourself to get that junk out and to process those emotions so that you can learn from them and move forward. So that's the second kind of journal. The third kind is called stream of consciousness. It's also called morning pages. So for those of you who are familiar with her work, I believe her name is Julia Cameron. She has a wonderful book about morning pages. And her recommendation is this is great for your creativity. And I've got a few notes here. I just want to make sure that I've got this right. It's been a while since I've done a stream of consciousness kind of journal. So start in the morning. Again, you just grab your pen and your paper and let it flow. Every single thing that is in your mind, write it on the page. Set a timer, depends on how comfortable you are with journaling, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just write every single thing that's in your mind. You're going to find that after you do this for a while, it is a great creativity spark. You're going to come up with ideas, things that you hadn't thought of. Maybe you're going to even capture a way of looking at something in a different way of solving a problem. Maybe a challenge that's going on with your family or something at work. So this one is stream of consciousness writing. No filtering, no worrying about whether your spelling is correct, no deciding that you don't want to put that on paper. If the words are in your head, they come out on that pen and onto the paper. That's third kind, stream of consciousness journaling or morning pages. The fourth kind of journal that you can use is a gratitude journal. Everything gets better in your life when you spend time focusing on the things that you're grateful for. So a gratitude journal is a place where you're going to capture the details of the things that you're thankful for. So do it consistently. And I highly recommend that you start a gratitude journal just by capturing 3 things that have happened either that day or the day before, things that made you grateful. And they don't have to be big things. They can be small things. And that sometimes it's the small things that are the most encouraging. When you practice gratitude, you learn to look for the good things in life. You retrain your brain, and so you start to look at things from a more positive, more grateful aspect. And when you focus, what you focus on is what you attract more in your life. So focusing on those things that you're grateful for is an awesome way of attracting more good into your life. Other things, types of journals, travel journal. If you're going on a great trip, grab a book and write down, what did you do today? What are the sights you saw? Who did you meet? Where did you eat? Where did you have a glass of wine? What was the place like that you stayed? It is so interesting to have a great trip planned, and it's so present for us when we're in that moment of traveling. But 5 years from now, you may not remember all those details. So keeping a travel journal of all the details of your trip will really help you go back to that trip 5 years from now and read again about it and enjoy it just the same. Also, a pregnancy journal. It's a great way to capture that entire journey of pregnancy from the start when you're first realizing that you're pregnant all the way through to when it's time to deliver the baby. You can capture how you're feeling physically. It's also really great for helping to remind yourself, what do I need to eat? When am I feeling tired? What are the patterns that my body is telling me so that I can take better care of myself to have a better experience and better health during my pregnancy and after my pregnancy. So a pregnancy journal is a great thing as well. You can also keep a reading journal. Now this is one of those things that I do. I love to keep lists of all the books that I want to read. I keep, it's a pretty long list of all these different books that occur to me that I think would be really great to read. And then as I read them, I check them off. Other people use this in a couple of different ways. They might keep a list of books that they want to read, but they also might use it to capture a list of books that they have read and their impressions of the books. What did they learn from that book? What was their favorite thing about that book? What did it make them think about in a different way? So a reading journal is another way for you as well. Food journals. So what did you eat and when? This is great for if you're having some food sensitivities. If you're wanting to know, does bread interfere with me? What's my energy like if I drink wine every night? Do I like these kinds of vegetables or that kind of vegetables? How do I feel after I eat meat? What happens if I don't eat meat for a couple of days? What's my energy level like? What does my stomach feel like? What's my thinking like? So a food journal is a great way to keep track of what's going on with your body as you're eating different things. More journals. Like I said, there's 12 kinds. The first few I went into sort of a longer explanation about, but these last ones, just a couple of little sentences. Exercise journal. This is where you track, what did you do? How much did you do? How did it feel? And then you can look at your progress with time. So that's a great way. Also, a project journal. So if you're working on a big project at work, or maybe you're doing a big renovation in your home, it is really great to keep a project journal about what's it like, what's going on, what's good, what's not working well, and so that you can really improve on the project for the next time if it's a work-based project. And if it's a renovation, it's just a great reminder for your experience, and it helps you to enjoy the fruits of the renovation even more as well. Gardening journals. What did you plant in your garden and when did you plant it? And what was the crop like? What is it being a harder winter this year? When did you put your lettuce in? Did you plant peas or carrots? What's the soil composition like? Are you doing soil testing? Are you noticing that when you have this kind of compost added to your garden, is it producing a better crop or not? So a garden journal can be a great way. When are you actually planting things? Is spring earlier this year or later this year? And what was the crop like? Did you have lots of carrots? Did you have lots of leafy vegetables? Or was it more of a root vegetable year? And that's going to give you some clues to what you'd like to change for next year. All right, let me just see if I've covered all of them. Oh, the very, very last one I wanted to talk about is bullet journaling. Now, a bullet journal is a great way of journaling if you are artistic, if you love lists, and all I'll say is if you're curious about a bullet journal and you've never heard of them before, go to Pinterest and enter that as a search tool and search term and just look at all the amazing things that people have done. Okay, so that's it. 12 different types of journals that you can keep. I don't know, which one do you like the sound of? Which one do you want to try? Let me just read them off to you again. So starting at the top, I have Dream Journal, I've got a Junk Journal, I have a Stream of Consciousness, oh boy, that one's a tongue twister, Stream of Consciousness Journal, or also called Morning Pages, a Gratitude Journal, what else have we got? Travel journals, pregnancy journals, exercise journals, food journals, gardening journals, bullet journals, and have I got them all? Reading journals. That is the very last one, as well as a project journal. So I hope you're finding this interesting. I hope you like this series. And if you kind of like my tone, you've always wondered what it's like to work with a coach, send me an email. There's my email, my personal email, right in the description of this video. Send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got. And if you're curious, ask away. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great afternoon, you guys. Bye-bye.